against the conspiracy of Russian military intelligence officers who stand accused of conducting the most disruptive
to the Department of Justice and to the FBI for, among other things, its role in Russia's efforts to interfere in the 2016 U.S. elections, portions of which were initially investigated by the Western District of Pennsylvania with our partners from the National Security Division and the FBI's Pittsburgh Field Office. The indictment unsealed today reveals the Russian government's global campaign of disruption, interference, and destabilization against strategic adversaries across 3 continents. As outlined by AAG Demers, the crimes committed by these defendants and Unit 74455 are truly breathtaking in their scope, scale, and impact. AAG Demers spoke to the broader geopolitical implications of the GRU's campaign. I want to speak for a moment about the victims in this case. While the alleged perpetrators of these crimes were Russian government officials, the victims who suffered real harm as a result of these crimes were often ordinary citizens and businesses around the world. These are citizens and businesses that rely on such things as electricity for warmth during a cold Ukrainian winter, a reliable banking system as a foundation for a stable economy, untainted elections free from interference by foreign adversaries, the opportunity to participate in a traditionally non-political event like the Olympics, and access to fundamentally sound hospitals for life-saving medical care, to name just a few. The devastating crimes allegedly committed by these defendants and Unit 74455 co-conspirators harmed ordinary people around the world, including in my district in Western Pennsylvania. As a result of the NotPetya malware attack, Heritage Valley Health Systems, which provides health care to tens of thousands in Western Pennsylvania, lost access to their mission-critical computer systems, such as those used for cardiology, nuclear medicine, radiology, and surgery. Their hard drives at 80 medical facilities were encrypted, workstations were locked, patient lists, medical patient history, examination files, and laboratory records were inaccessible. While Heritage Valley spent more than $2 million responding to and recovering from the attack, the disruption of critical health care to patients cannot be quantified monetarily. Additionally, a FedEx subsidiary spent approximately $400 million responding to and recovering from NotPetya attack on its computer systems, and a large U.S. pharmaceutical manufacturer spent in excess of $500 million. And these are just 3 of the hundreds of victims of NotPetya worldwide. These are not acts of traditional spying against governments. Instead, these are crimes committed by Russian government officials against real victims who suffered real harm. My colleagues and I on this stage have an obligation to hold accountable those who commit crimes, no matter where they reside and no matter for whom they work, in an effort to seek justice on behalf of the victims of these crimes. Let me talk briefly about the charges in the 7-count indictment. The defendants are charged in count 1 with engaging in an ongoing and wide-ranging conspiracy to hack into computers, steal information such as network credentials, and cause significant damage to the networks through the deployment of malicious code, otherwise known as malware. The defendants are charged at count 2 with conspiracy to commit wire fraud. This offense consists of conspiring to use stolen authentication credentials to gain access to and move laterally within victims' networks, as well as the transmission of spear phishing emails designed to deceive the victim into clicking on a malicious link or attachment to gain unauthorized access to victims' computer networks. Counts 3 and 4 charge the defendants with substantive counts of wire fraud associated with the transmission of the NotPetya malware through the computer systems of Heritage Valley Health Systems in the Western District of Pennsylvania, using stolen authentication credentials to move to other parts of the network. Count 5 charges the defendants with a substantive count of computer fraud relating to the transmission of the NotPetya malware on the Heritage Valley Health System computer network and causing damage to that network. Finally, count 6 and 7 charge the defendants with aggravated identity theft. That means they illegally obtained identifying information, including usernames and passwords, used by real persons and exploited it to further their hacking activity. All of the countries named in the indictment share the ideals of a free society based on national sovereignty, ordered liberty, the rule of law, and free and fair elections. For these reasons, they also share a common threat: Russia, a country that will stop at nothing to destroy those ideals and instill a sense of instability in its adversaries. The indictment unsealed today was only made possible by the willingness of countries to come together and share information and evidence associated with these attacks. In the Western District of Pennsylvania, in conjunction with our partners at NSD and FBI, we continue to develop this new paradigm involving unprecedented levels of collaboration with our foreign law enforcement partners in the ongoing fight against cybercrime, whether committed by transnational organized crime groups or nation-state groups such as the Russian GRU. In closing, I want to thank the Assistant U.S. Attorneys from my office and the trial attorneys from the National Security Division for their incredible work on this case. We in the Western District of Pennsylvania value the long and trusted working relationship with NSD under AAG Demers' leadership. I also want to thank all the agents from the FBI's Pittsburgh, Oklahoma, and Atlanta field offices, the FBI legal attaché offices around the world who contributed to this investigation, FBI Cyber Division at FBI headquarters, and the assistance we received from our foreign partners, from victims, and from those in cybersecurity private industry. Now I will turn the podium over to FBI Deputy Director David Bowdich.
Good afternoon. We're here to turn a spotlight on the numerous destructive cyber attacks which are perpetrated by the GRU, which, as you've heard, is the Russian military's intelligence agency. This activity went well beyond traditional intelligence collection. The GRU targeted the global energy sector, the international political groups, hospitals, and even the Olympics. Time and again, Russia has made it clear they will not abide by accepted norms, and instead they intend to continue their destructive and destabilizing cyber behavior. Of course, this threat is not new. We've been fighting the cyber threat for years now, addressing hack after hack as our adversaries continue to escalate their crimes and use their capabilities not just to gather intelligence, but also to disrupt, degrade, and destroy. We investigate one major hack only to uncover another one. We are particularly concerned when nation-state adversaries target our critical infrastructure and our intellectual property, both here at home and abroad. These actors we're talking about today are alleged to have developed and deployed the NotPetya destructive malware, which wreaked havoc across the entire globe. NotPetya is considered one of the most destructive cyber attacks ever. Victims included a hospital in Pennsylvania, as you've heard already. The cyber attack crippled that hospital's operations. I'll not repeat